Reviewed them once and I'll review them again. It's time for Rule of 3 follow-ups, where the projects I found interesting before get a second look. This time I'm checking back in on Cardcaptor Sakura. Last time I compared the original English dub by Nelvana to the modern Animax dub. For this video I'll be viewing the modern dub up to the end of its first story arc, which concludes in Season 2, because of its accuracy to the original. The first movie, although a part of the arc if I'm not mistaken, was not dubbed for Animax and thus will not be covered here. After the first 3 episodes, I thought the show was a fun watch with good storytelling, more so in the Japanese version, characters, and some amazing visuals. How will the Clow Card arc fare after all is said and done? Let's dive right in. My thoughts on things like the music and visuals remain the same. I still really like the first opening and closing themes. The second ones aren't quite as good, and the closing theme Honey took me a bit to really get used to, but I think, combined with the slides and editing, make it one of my favorite ending sequences in anime. The score itself also remained good. I didn't get sick of any of the incidental music. The animation and designs also retain their consistent quality, and again, I still think the nighttime shots they did are an especially good showcase of the series' aesthetics. Well done. As far as the writing goes, it's mostly pretty good. I already went into the lack of action last time and still feel the same. It can be kinda annoying, but the action isn't really what the series is about, so it gets a pass. The storyline was handled pretty well. Every time Sakura had her prophetic dream of the Tokyo Tower, it always felt like there was a new layer added and made the build-up feel extremely epic. And the fact that they do make sure to have Sakura and Shaoran use the cards they've collected to fight off the other ones makes it feel like there's progress being made on their mission. There were a couple stretches of filler that left me longing for more, but they weren't bad per se. However, this did have an effect on the ending, which I felt could have used another episode to help the storytelling. It felt a little rushed. When the Earthy card shows up, it's like, Sakura, you gotta find its true form. Oh hey, there's its true form. I also felt like the fight between Yue or Yu or however they want to pronounce it and Shaoran could have used more time too. Plus, if there's an invisible wall to the final judgment, how did Miss Mizuki make it to the Tokyo Tower to give Sakura her second chance? Aside from those issues, it was a satisfactory ending to the arc. I think the show's strong suit is most of its character connections, even between ones we didn't see quite as much. The only thing about that is, and I'm gonna be blunt here, there are a couple pedophilic ones. I don't know what the fuck got in Clamp's mind when they were writing the dynamic between Mr. Terada and Rika, as well as Sonomi's obsessive behavior towards Sakura that up to this point has gone nowhere, but I'd like for that to go away please, thank you. However, the good ones of the bunch have driven some of my favorite episodes, such as the ones with the jump card, Sakura's mother, Sakura and Kuro having a fight, the cave, Sakura visiting her dad at his university job, the mirror card, I could go on. The new core characters, Shaoran and Mei Ling, round out the cast well. Shaoran's boy crush on Yukito I feel could have been delayed a bit to keep some level of mystery or threat to his character, but what we got wasn't bad. Mei Ling took some getting used to, but when she started warming up to Sakura, Kuro, and Tomoyo, things turned around. Too bad they wrote her out right before the end. It felt like I'd only just started liking her character. Even if the whole cousin engagement thing with Shaoran's kinda weird. The only thing I really had a problem with was some of the dub's production, which has nothing to do with the show itself. There's some voice direction that could have been better, and isn't helped by stuff like inconsistencies with pronunciation and voice actors for the less important characters. Hell, when the second season started, some of the characters were speaking with a different voice despite being portrayed by the same person. And if it wasn't that, it would be things such as dialogue being off sync sometimes, or, far more egregiously, missing lines entirely. There were too many times a character would move their lips with nothing coming out, and you could tell that's not how it was meant to be. It wasn't so bad as to make the viewing experience terrible or anything. It's still a competent enough dub, but I also wouldn't have much of a problem rewatching it if Viz or Funimation picked up the rights to it stateside. Did it do a good enough job to keep me interested? I'd say it did. I really like the cast of characters and the show's sense of storytelling. There's only 24 episodes left, it'd be kind of a shame at this point if I didn't want to continue. Cardcaptor Sakura is a fantastic show, and I want to see how it finishes. And that's a wrap for the first round of follow-ups for Rule of 3. Who knows which ones I'll go back to next, but for now, I'm gonna try out some new shows or comics or whatever the case may be. Until then, I have been Skull902, thank you for watching, and have yourselves a wonderful day.